Good evening, class. My name is Kevin Amerson. I'm going to be demonstrating my demonstration speech for session 4. I do want to apologize. We're outside to do my video, so there is some sound, wind interference. I want to apologize in advance for that. I'm an audience member, my wife. She's going to be learning along with y'all about how to plant a pineapple and the benefits of that and some fun facts that I've learned along the way. So, in the 18th century, pineapples were a symbol of wealth. Not many people seen a pineapple to begin with. So when the pineapples would come over on colonial ships, they were so surprised. They were surprised about how beautiful they were, and even not as often, but the sweetness that comes along with the pineapple. So if you look at an old picture, go through history books, you see these old churches and cathedrals and stuff. That thing on the very top, it looks like a pineapple. That is a pineapple. But I'm going to show you how to plant your own so you can have your own wealth in your little garden here. Whenever you go to the store and you buy a store pineapple, you cut the top off like we have here and you put it in a bowl of water. Now you can last up to a few days or even a week before you plant it. The longer you let it sit in the water before you plant it, it encourages the pineapple to grow instead of to rot. You don't want it to rot, you want it to grow. So what you do, we'll go ahead and I got my tools. I got my few shovels and my rake here. I've got my little bucket of water after we get it planted, and we'll go from there. Alright, so your first thing you do is you grab your pineapple, and what you want to do, you want to grab it with the top with your dominant hand. You want to grab the bottom with your other hand. You'll give it a twist, just like that. Now you can throw that away because you don't need that no more. But this is what you need here. Alright? Now there's a couple layers here that you need to pull off. About 5 or 6 layers will be good, just so you can get to the dark spots that's inside of it, and that's where it actually will grow. So give me a minute here, we'll get these layers here pulled off. Now you can, some of these bigger leaves, you can actually peel them off themselves and you can plant them. Now it takes longer for them to grow and to sprout, but you can. And then your average pineapple takes 2 to 3 years. That's an awful lot of time to be pruning and to be watering and everything, but that's always a good thing. You reap the benefits at the end. You know how the Bible verse says you reap what you sow? Well, this is the reaping part. We're fixing to sow in a little while. If you're hanging around long enough, we might be able to show you in a few years what it looks like at the end. Alright. We know that pineapples do regenerate. This one head here only produces one pineapple. But with that pineapple, when it grows, you can do the same thing, keep growing from the same pineapple up to 50 years. So that's a good thing. Keep going. Alright, I've got about 4 layers here. We'll go one more and then we'll get it planted. Pineapples are real good because they got an acidic enzyme in it. So it's really good for tenderizing. You see in the Hawaiians, that's where most of the pineapples are grown. But they marinate their meat and stuff in it. Makes it sweeter and it tenderizes it. So that's also a good thing. Alright, so when you get your layers pulled off, you should see the little brown pieces here. That's what will encourage it to sprout. We'll put it back in my water for just a minute. Get my trusty shovel. And you're going to bury it about 1.5 to 2 inches, all depending on how much of the layers you pull off. Alright, so when you get the hole dug just like that, get your water bucket. It's just a little bit of water, just to wet the bottom of the soil, just like that. Alright, so you grab your pineapple and you're going to put it in the water in the middle of your hole. You're going to hold it up, and then you're going to tuck the soil in around it. Now this soil is a pot soil you can get at most grocery stores. We got ours at Walmart, and it's actually has the ingredients and nutrients inside the soil itself to help it. Any of the vegetables you see, cucumbers and stuff growing, it encourages growth and it also, you don't have to look after it as long because the soil is moist, so you don't have to water it as often. Alright? Now, pineapples are native to South America and Hawaii, and that's where Christopher Columbus first discovered them. And that's when he went back over there to England and on his conquest. After he come back home, that's when he developed the pineapples. All right. So after you get it planted, and you don't water around the pineapple. What you would do is you take your water or your water bucket or water hose, and in the very center is where you water. Right there in the center. Because what happens, that those leaves will hold the water, and instead of the water dispersing and getting absorbed into the soil around it, it goes right down the stem, and right where them brown pieces where we pull the leaves off, they get the water first, and then they can disperse it to wherever it needs it. Now, the first couple days, you want to water it every day, just so you, like I said, encourage that growth, and then from there on, after a week or so, you just water it when the water inside the leaves deplete, then you water it again. There we go. Now, if you get an unripe pineapple at the store, if you are able to turn pineapple upside down so the head of it is down, it actually ripens faster. So if you get one that's too soon being ripe, you just always turn it upside down, and within the next day or so, it'll be ready to go. Now, we'll water around the soil a little bit because I didn't water the other vegetables today. So we will put a little bit of water on the outside. Alright. Alright, well, I think that concludes our demonstration of how to plant a pineapple. And you sure that you do like pineapples as well, great in fruit salad. And I encourage you, if you have an opportunity and a space to grow a pineapple, I encourage you to do so. Have a good night.